How you doing? Mark Wheeler, Prospect Street in Kingston. I'm just going to take a second of your time. I know last time I spoke to the Board of Selectmen at the last meeting, I discussed the issues that I had as far as health effects with my family, my now 7-month pregnant wife, in regards to the Kingston Wind Independence LLC and their wind turbine next to Route 3. And it was my understanding that at the last meeting there was going to be a letter sent, however written, to the Board of Health urging the extreme necessity to deal with some of the issues going on as far as the independence, because it's causing major health hazards to my family in particular, as well as others in the community. I'm here to ask the selectmen if the letter was sent, and I found out just prior to the meeting starting that there was a letter sent, and why it wasn't, and why the Board of Health was led by Mr. Tallerman, the town attorney, to not take any action on the wind turbine because they were afraid of litigation. It was my understanding that the board, after hearing from the town residents, understood the problem that they're having with the turbine, and that there are indeed health hazards related to both the noise and the flicker. And obviously there was a vote taken at the last selectmen meeting to shut down the turbine. It was then taken back, re-voted after advisement by Mr. Tallerman, and then this letter was written and sent to the Board of Health. For whatever reason, the Board of Health was advised by the same attorney that the selectmen have that they should not shut them down until wind studies were conducted. The issue is the CEC was obviously hired to conduct this wind study. This isn't helping my family in the interim. I haven't slept in the last 3 or 4 nights. My 7-month pregnant wife is going back to the doctor again tomorrow to try and find relief from the things that are, from not only the noise but the flicker and everything else, the stress involved with this turbine. I'm begging you for help because I don't know where to go. I've kind of lost faith in the process that you guys have explained. The process is not working. I don't know where the process goes next, because you advised me to go to the Board of Health. I went to the Board of Health with scientific evidence, with my own personal evidence, and nothing was done. And the same attorney that works for you is advising the Board of Health to do nothing because they're afraid of getting sued for millions of dollars by the wind industry. It appears evidence that at some point someone's going to get sued by someone. People are getting sued in situ all over the place. I don't want to sue anybody. I'm just asking for some relief until these studies are done. I'm sure there's something that the town as selectmen can do to help my family and other families that are being affected at this point. So I'm just wondering why the concerns that you agreed upon last week weren't portrayed to the Board of Health in a way that would urge them to at least mitigate our health problems in some fashion. Just looking for anything from you people. Anyone who wants to speak on it, if no one wants to, that's fine. I just want to be heard and just let you know that we're still suffering from the same health hazards. Nothing was done at the Board of Health meeting. I don't know who to go to next. I don't know who oversees the selectmen and the Board of Health. Where do I go to next? At what level of the state do I need to jump to have somebody do something for my family? I've reached out to Mr. Ruiz specifically, as he asked. He asked, why don't people come to me specifically? I did. I contacted him. Nothing was done yet again. These are real health hazards. We don't know the long-term effects of what this turbine is doing to us. Much like back in the day, they used to paint houses with lead. They used to wrap pipes in asbestos. It was a great idea at the time because nobody knew the health outcomes. I don't want to be a member of that study 10 years from now where me and my wife and my children, or my unborn child, have issues to deal with because of these turbines. And then say, oh, sorry, we'll give you $1 million. We didn't realize that you would have problems. I don't want your money. I want to live a healthy life, and that's why I thought going to the Board of Health was the right thing to do. And clearly it wasn't. Is there anything that you can advise me, or I mean, was the letter, I have it in front of me here, just doesn't really discuss much. It's from Nancy Howlett, Acting Town Administrator. Doesn't say much of what we discussed at the last meeting. I thought it was urgent enough that when you originally took the vote to shut them down, that this was a real issue. And I'm just looking to see where we stand at this point. Who do I go to next? Does anybody want to answer? Or make a statement? Anything? Ms. Howlett? You're the editor of this letter, and this is not what was talked about at the selectmen meeting last time.
No, that's okay. But unfortunately, we have to take professional advice that we had in the room that evening. I'm sorry for the way that it is, but we have to act that way. We can't disregard the legal advice that we're getting from town council. That's why the vote was what it was. The process will continue. We are hoping to get a response from Mr. Ruiz tomorrow.
But again, it's the Board of Health's responsibility, and again, as Mr. Talman advised them, they have the ability to shut things down if they're a nuisance or a health hazard. Yet in the same breath, he advised them it would probably not be a good idea because the town would get sued. Is there a way for him to separate himself and be, I know he's the selectman's attorney, is there a way for him to separate himself from the Board of Health and have a new representative, an attorney, represent the Board of Health? Because the more I stand here and the more I listen to these town politics, like I said, the more I lose faith in the process because I have no one to turn to at this point.
For that, for the way that that's playing out for you, but...
And I think you all are good people.
No request for this board to provide private counsel.
I just want to say, I think you all are good people sitting on the board today, and I can probably almost guarantee with 100% that if it wasn't for the legal issue of the town getting sued, you would vote to shut this down. I can almost guarantee that, maybe with the exception of one of you, that the turbine will be shut down until we can find out what actually is happening to people. And for me to stand here and say that and look at you people and know that you agree with me, and for me to go to the Board of Health, who deal with issues much smaller and take action on issues much smaller, it just amazes me that nothing can be done. And I thank you for your time.